Good morning, guys, and welcome back to Vlogtober. This is actually Monday morning, but you will be seeing this video on Wednesday. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be getting into today, although because it is Monday, I like to do kind of like a reset in my house after the weekend, and so I'll probably be doing that. I thought about maybe making a loaf of pumpkin bread because it's cool enough now. We're finally getting some cool temperatures. I have to say, it's been a rough past week or so. We've had some really horrible things happen, and I'm just not myself today, but I'm going to try to pull it together. One of the things that happened was I did not know this person personally, but a very, very close friend of my sister's family was killed in a car accident last week, and he was only 18 years old. And so it's been hitting them really hard, and so it's the ripple down effect, and I feel just terrible about the whole situation. Just so sad. He was driving too fast, lost control of his car and hit a tree and died instantly, and it's just such a waste. It's such a waste of life, and it's just heartbreaking. And then we've got some other issues going on that I can't talk about, but you know, heavy on my heart, heavy on my mind. I haven't been sleeping well, and that always adds to the struggle of trying to be positive and uplifting. But we're going to press on. We are going to do the best we can today, and we're going to just put one foot in front of the other. So I'm out here on the deck because I wanted to show you that I've already made some changes. I know you just saw the Decorate the Deck with Me video yesterday, but that actually was filmed a week or so ago. And after that video, I decided I needed to make a couple of changes on the deck. So let me go ahead and show you those changes. I know I mentioned in that video that I considered getting some more faux flowers for this pot, and they're not exactly the same as these, but I didn't want them to be exactly the same. They're fairly close, but not exactly the same. But I think that looks so good with those draped out of there. And then I actually probably should have gotten 2 packages of them because it didn't fill the back half of the pot. But I just went ahead and stuck that pumpkin sign in there to fill in the space. And then I put those little, I bought a package of these little miniature sunflowers. Good gravy. You can tell I'm sleep deprived. Scarecrows. But I bought a package of scarecrows, and I've got those sprinkled around the deck. So I have those there. And then I bought this little metal sign, and it's just stuck it in my chive pot, and it's adorable. Absolutely love it. And then over here in this pot, I stuck that other metal pumpkin and then some more of the scarecrows. And then again down here in this pot, I stuck some more of those scarecrows. They came in a package of 12, and so I just had a lot to work with. And I think that really makes a huge impact on my deck. I do need to take my aloe plant back in the house. I've got 2 aloe plants. One is not doing so great, and then this one, who's been out on the porch all summer, is doing really well. But it's time to start bringing him in the house because it's been getting pretty chilly at night. We haven't had any frost or anything, not even close to frost, but it's getting there. It can happen any day. We could get a frost, so I need to get him brought in the house today. So let's go ahead and go in the house, and I'm going to go start tidying up the kitchen. I already emptied the dishwasher. I've already had my breakfast and drank my coffee. So I need to just get in there and start tidying up the kitchen. So let's go get to work. Poor little Percy, he had another seizure. It was at 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Scott picked these tomatoes the other day and washed them. for some reason, quite a few of them split after he washed them. And now they're attracting bugs. So I need to get these sorted through. And I don't normally store my tomatoes in the refrigerator, but I'm going to have to put the ones that aren't split into the refrigerator. I am really not sure why he keeps having seizures, even though he's on seizure medication. Now, it wasn't a severe one. Like, he's had some in the past that've been very, I mean, not grand mal severe, but severe enough to really scare me. His last 2 seizures that he's had have been fairly mild. But it's very weird because they are almost like textbook as far as how long the actual seizure lasts and the progression of his recovery and how long the time frame is from the time it starts to the time it's, he's back to being completely normal. All of that has been very consistent from the very, very beginning. But what's very strange is that he had a seizure almost a month ago, almost to the day of when he had this seizure on Sunday. And again, it was at 4 o'clock in the morning in our bed. So I don't know if it has something to do with the duration of time after he's had his medicine, and that it's, just enough out of his system for it to not be able to stop the seizure, but it's in his system just enough to keep the seizure from being super severe. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm supposed to call and get an appointment for him for just like his annual checkup in November. So I'll bring my log book because I have to write this down every time he has a seizure. I have to write everything down and maybe have a talk with the vet about it. But if he's going to have one once a month at 4 o'clock in the morning, I can guarantee that at least once a month I'm going to be awakened up at 4 o'clock in the morning and not be able to go back to sleep, because that's what happened 2 months in a row. So anyways, I got the tomatoes sorted. I'm going to stick these in the refrigerator. So now hopefully we won't have those pesky fruit flies flying around. I really need to get my refrigerator cleaned out today too. So maybe we'll work on that while we're here in the kitchen. These are dog cookies. I love Three Dog Bakery. These look like little fig Newtons for dogs. And then these are like chocolate chip cookies for dogs. They've got carob in them. And I love them because they're baked in the United States and they're really good quality. My dogs love these types of treats. Well, before we get started on cleaning out the refrigerator, let's walk down to the mailbox. I have a letter I need to put in the mail, and so we'll go ahead and get that done, and I'll let you see what the fields look like now that they've harvested all of the potatoes. So no more crop dusters for us this year, and they won't plant potatoes again in that field next year because they do crop rotation. I don't know what they'll plant. Usually always it's either corn, soybeans, or potatoes. They kind of rotate the crops. Once in a great while, once in a blue moon, they'll plant mint. And the only crops that they really spray heavily are the potatoes. The crop dusters come at least once a week when they've got potatoes in this field. I tell you, my dogs went absolutely bonkers when they were picking these potatoes, when they were harvesting, because they were heavy trucks and all kinds of different machines and lots of noise and all kinds of stuff going on out here for that 2 weeks. It took them, well, it wasn't quite 2 weeks, more like a week and a half to get it all harvested. Seemed like a month and a half because the dogs hated it so much. But anyway, it looks like fall. That squirrel is not afraid of me. I'm like just within a few feet of him. And all he did was just watched me as I was walking past. I love squirrels. I know other people think they're just dirty rodents, but I love them. I think they're so cute. He's eating an acorn, I think. So cute. Oh, there's another one. There's his friend. Sometimes I'll come out here and I'll hear them up in the trees chattering at each other. I love the way my house looks when I'm walking up on it with the fall deck. It's so pretty. Oh, just love it. I love those colors. They're my absolute favorite. All right, let's get this refrigerator cleaned out. I try not to waste food, but sometimes it happens, so hopefully there won't be too much wastage going on in here. Got that job done. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to change the cushion covers on my couch, the furniture covers, and then I'm going to get Edna going so she can vacuum. Aw, I hate to move them, but I'm going to have to because I gotta change the stuff on that couch now. Poor babies. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait till after Edna's done running. Or when next time they start barking at something and jump off the couch. Then I'll do it. Please ignore the sound of the dishwasher, but I had to load it because there was so many dishes left from when I cleaned out the refrigerator. So many dishes from the refrigerator. Anyway, I just decided I didn't want to bake that bread today. I just wasn't in the mood, wasn't feeling it. So I thought I would share my supper recipe idea with you guys instead. It was just something I kind of made up myself. I call it chicken tetrazzini, but it's not even close to original tetrazzini. So I should probably just call it like creamy chicken and noodles or something like that. But I'm going to start off by dicing up 2 of these dairy-free Baby Bell cheeses and 2 of the garlic and herb dairy-free Laughing Cow cheeses. I don't think I'm going to dice these up because these melt pretty quickly, but I'm just going to get these ready to go. I've got water heating on the stove because I'm going to boil a box of spaghetti, and you can use any kind of chicken you want in this. It's getting close to time for the dogs to eat, so Bo is outside barking. That's what you hear. And you can use rotisserie chicken, you can use leftover chicken, you can use whatever kind of chicken you want or have. And today I am going to be using canned chicken. So this is a meal that you can get on the stove in a half an hour or less. So the first thing you need to do in your skillet is make a roux, because that's what's going to thicken the gravy that's going to be for the noodles. And so I'm going to start this off with just about probably 3 tablespoons of oil. This is avocado oil. Let that heat a bit. And I'm also going to stick in about a tablespoon of my plant-based butter. All right, this is heated up, so now I'm going to add flour to this and whisk it in. And I really just don't measure out anything. That's probably 1/4 of a cup of flour. We're just going to start stirring this together. And I do it by sight, and it looks to me like this could use just a little bit more flour. Not a whole lot, just a little bit more. So we're going to let this cook for like a minute for the flour taste to kind of cook out. And then we're going to add 2 cans of chicken broth to this, whisking briskly. Yeah, I always cook everything on high. If you're not as impatient with cooking as I am, you might want to lower the heat a little bit. Oh. And I know it's going to look terrible at first. You're going to think, oh no, it's lumpy. But believe me, it will smooth itself out. At this point, I'm going to add some dehydrated onion. I'm going to have to refill my jar because that was the end of that. I've got more downstairs. My water's boiling, so I'm going to add my pasta to the water and get it cooking. So then I'm also going to add some of this minced garlic to this sauce. Going to add a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, some red pepper flakes, of course. And then at this point, I am going to add those cheeses that I cut up. And I'm also going to add some of this dairy-free mozzarella. It's frozen. It was in the freezer. You probably couldn't hear that because of the rattling. It was frozen, or it's frozen. It was in the freezer. So, about half of a package. I'm going to switch to a wooden spoon at this point because the cheese will just get caught in the whisks. The whisks tines, I should say. So once all this cheese is completely melted, then you're going to add 2 cans of drained canned chicken. And I always like to rinse my canned chicken as well, because you know they add quite a bit of sodium to that when they're in the canning process. And I am going to turn the heat down finally on my burner here. So here's 1 can of chicken. And here's the 2nd can of chicken, rinsed and drained. Pasta's boiling nicely. So once the pasta is tender to your specifications, how you like it, then you just add it to this sauce here. But before we add the pasta, I will add 1 more ingredient, but not until right before I put the pasta in. So when the pasta is ready to go in, I'll bring you back. Alright, the pasta is tender. So right before I add it to this, I am going to add just a little splash of this dairy-free half and half. Probably about 1/4 of a cup, I imagine. I'll stir this in and then add the pasta, heat it, mix it till it's nice and combined, and it will be ready to eat. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this video for today, friends. Our supper was very delicious, and Travis said it was more like chicken fettuccine Alfredo, but it wasn't fettuccine noodles, it was spaghetti noodles. So I don't know what to call it, but it was good and the family enjoyed it. And it never turns out the same 2 times in a row whenever I make it. Isn't that weird when you don't follow a recipe? But anyway, friends, Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you would, please just be praying for me. My heart is really heavy right now with many different things. We all go through hard times in life, and right now is a valley. But I know that this time will pass and things will get better, and I'm always super aware that my Heavenly Father is with me. God never leaves me nor forsakes me, and I am assured in that, and that gives me comfort. But I tell you what, 2025 has been a very horrible year, and I'll be glad when I see the backside of it. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow with another brand new video for Vlogtober. Bye-bye, friends.